The presentation we did was on the federal regulatories and policies, as well as state regulations and policies, and looking at how they could potentially influence the market for CHP cogeneration in the next few years. At the federal level, there seems to be a great opportunity with all the federal activity around the greenhouse gas 111D and 111B provisions that are coming out, as well as with some of the mercury rules that have come into place, ozone rules that are changing, as well as the CSAPR, the cross-state air pollution rules and stuff. And so a lot of those are going to influence the coal market and coal generation, which is going to provide potential opportunities for natural gas generation and hopefully more distributed generation and such. One of the main focuses we wanted to kind of point out for this talk was the importance of cogeneration dealing with water usage as well as air pollution. We know with cogeneration it's much more efficient than centralized generation. It also doesn't require nearly as much water. You have significant water savings with cogeneration. There's been some studies that show if we improve the market in Texas by 35% or increase the market by 35%, we actually would see about a 25 billion gallon a year savings by 2025, or that year considering business as usual or compared to business as usual. So we want to really point out those benefits, especially in Texas where we still have about 2.5 million people, living in areas that are severely water constrained and such, and as well as rivers that are and reservoirs that are very much below capacity and stuff. And so, ability to move away from using this water for power generation and using it for other purposes is very important to be thinking about, especially now that the state of Texas has a $2 billion water plan that's available, or that's being developed at this point. That's going to have some water conservation components that CHP could definitely feed into and maybe be a player there to reduce water consumption. As far as the Texas policy side that we're looking at, there's been a lot of good activity in the last two legislative sessions, and there may be a new bill on some tax credits coming out here in this session. We don't know, it's still in committee, but the last two sessions have been pretty good for CHP as far as allowing the permit by rule laws to be passed, allowing this power export rule to be passed. So there still needs to be some tweaking of those rules at this point because there's still some difficulty, especially of implementing a permit by rule. Some of the requirements there make it difficult to actually use that permit by rule because it doesn't allow for supplemental firing and such. So, there's been some good activity at the state level, but still a lot more work needs to be done in that regard to make sure that these rules are really helpful to the industry and such. But I think, a lot of it with the focus now on energy efficiency, the focus on air quality issues, focus on water consumption, I think really provides a great opportunity for CHP to start taking greater steps forward, and just renewable energy, distributed generation, if it's rooftop solar, if it's utility scale solar, utility scale wind, all have great opportunities now, especially as we look at concerns around air quality and water consumption. So.